Hey, welcome to Creative Minds Yoga. Today we're going to do M.A.P. M.A.P stands for Mindful, Aware, and Present. What we want to incorporate into our yoga practice today is adding mindfulness through each pose and each movement and each breath. If at any time your mind drifts, just try to bring yourself back to the present moment, being kind, welcoming back your mind into awareness. And then you can reset yourself with a breath. So let's begin. We're going to come into a position where our feet are about hips width apart. We want to look down to our feet. You can hug your inner arches of your knees around your fists, or if you can bend down all the way, you can hug the inner arches inside your feet. You want to come back up to standing, making sure that the knees are soft as you rise back up. Inhale and breathe and allow the air to come in through the body from the belly all the way up through the chest. Nice deep inhalation, grounding yourself here into the present moment, and then relax. As you inhale and breathe, consider how the breath is coming through the body. Inhale deep, coming all the way down into the lowest part of the belly. And on the exhale, release. Allowing the weight to fall from your shoulders down into your elbows, into your wrists, into your fingertips. And close the eyes if you like and just breathe. Maybe you rock to the right and then to the left. Just feel the way the feet press down into the ground. Notice how the ground underneath you supports you. And breathe. Maybe even web the toes. Notice yourself in space. Remember to soften the knees. And slowly, when you're ready, allow the arms to start to rise up into mountain pose. You want to maybe take the gaze, look up, and if you can, maybe back bend slightly. And bring the hands back down by the sides. Let's do that again. Soften the knees, pressing up from the ground. Inhale, breathe in, arms rise, lift back. Back bending slightly if you can. Notice the breath as you lower the arms back down by the side. Notice the blood rush down to the fingertips. And try to just really ground yourself through that weight down into the toes. Being mindful about being on your mat or on the ground underneath you, and breathe. And if your eyes are closed, allow yourself to just bring a focal point to maybe where your eyes would come to the end of your nose. Continuing to maintain focus. And if you're standing with your eyes open, continue to maintain focus in front of you on whatever it is. Maybe it's a wall or a door. Just continue to keep your eyes there and breathe. Notice the full body. One last time, we're going to really press down from the feet, from the ground, feeling the different muscles inside of our thighs grip around our bone structure and allow us to come up, lift up, rise up. Belly lifts up to the chest, chest comes up towards the throat as you inhale and breathe, and that allows you to be guided through. And then on the next exhale, bring the hands back down by the sides slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Noticing how the breath and the movement become one. Slowly, we're going to inhale this time and bring our arms up, but what we're going to prepare to do is come into a forward fold. So you're going to do your back bend, and then you're going to slowly bend your knees, and you're going to come down and allow your chest to come down to your thighs. Does not have to touch. If you're here, that's fine. If you can touch down by your toes, that's fine too. And when your head comes down, let the head hang heavy. Maybe shake it yes and no. Just notice how the hamstrings and the calf muscles stretch. See if you can loosen the toes and allow the head, the full head of the body, to weigh heavy. And you can stay here for a few moments and breathe. Notice how the breath changes when you're in this position. Is there any place that you find the breath getting stuck? See if you can breathe in a little bit, or maybe you just adjust to the left or to the right. Slowly inhale, and you're going to half lift. And a half lift as you come up either above or below the knees, pressing your hands on the shins. And you can even press up to your thighs or below the knees and allowing the body to be secure with a flat back. The chest is parallel to the ground in front of you. Let the crown of your head come out forward. And then drop back down, inhale and breathe, and come back up, rise up through your mountain pose, arms rise, reaching up, and hands come down by your sides. And just pause here for a moment. Notice how your body feels different from the changes in position. Arms are going to come up. We're going to rise up. Inhale and breathe. And on the exhale, come back down through a forward fold. Inhale and breathe. One breath, one movement. Half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up through your forward fold up to your mountain pose. And then hands will come down by your sides. One more time, inhale, arms rise, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise, up through back bend, mountain pose, and make it count. Hands come back down by the sides. And breathe. Try not to adjust your hair or your body. See if you can notice the difference in the change in the heat and the temperature. Being mindful about the practice and the pose and how you're breathing. We're going to get ready to transition down to the ground. So take it easy, take a few breaths, and get down to the mat or the ground as you feel most comfortable. So we're going to come into a tabletop position. By coming into a tabletop position, we're taking our hand pads and we're pressing them down into the ground. We're kind of extending out our fingertips so they have some room, almost like a web. The thumb is a little bit closer to the index finger. Our shoulders are stacked on top of our elbows and on top of our wrists. Our legs are stacked, hips width apart. You want to make sure that your back is as straight as can be, sort of like a teacup could sit on the back. Inhale and breathe, and exhale, release. Just notice how your hands feel on the ground. And if you need extra secure padding where your knees are, feel free to bend your mat so that you can place your knees on your mat. Inhale and breathe, and exhale, release. Notice how different it is being on the ground from from standing up. Take your right hand and bring your right hand forward. You're going to just feel how it is to balance here. Notice how the body changes when you shift the weight to the left side to help you stay. Notice also how your belly is engaged and how your abdomen helps to keep you strong. When you're ready, take your left leg and bring it up so that you're balancing in one straight line. Your right fingertips come forward. Your left heel pushes back, almost like you're pressing a footprint to the back of the wall. Inhale and breathe, and on the exhale, stabilize. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring your hand back down. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to take our left hand. We're going to bring it out in front of us. Inhale and breathe, and just feel yourself in space to prepare for your balancing pose. Wrap the abs around your back body. Inhale, lift up the thigh, pressing forward all the way down into the heel of the foot. Allow the footprint on the right side to now make a footprint behind you. Your left fingertips are extended out in front of you. If you can, bump up just a little bit through the triceps and the biceps. Inhale and breathe. And on the exhale, release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come back down. We're going to transition into child's pose. Just notice how the body feels. Come down and sit your hips to your heels and bring your forehead down to the mat. Now, the one thing that you can do in child's pose is you can extend the knees so that they're spread apart, or you can bring your knees together. Your hands can be out in front of you, or they can be behind you. Any option you choose is sufficient. Just notice how the body melts down into the mat here. And breathe. Feel the elongation of the spine. Each vertebrae by vertebrae pulls apart from one another. If you can, send your breath all the way down into your hip body. And allow your feet to just melt down into the ground. Allow your hands to also melt. And breathe. Take a few more breaths and start to walk the fingertips forward so much that the arms rise up and the elbows lift off the ground as you come back into your tabletop position. From tabletop, what we're going to do is tuck our toes under. We're going to prepare for downward facing dog. Toes tuck under, hands are positioned nice and strong, hand pads to the ground. The eyes of the elbow are behind us, shooting back towards our thighs. When you're ready, slowly lift the knees up. We're not going to send the knees all the way up, nor are we going to send our hips all the way to the ceiling. We want to give ourselves some time to get into the downward facing dog. Inhale and breathe and just feel how the breath comes down through the body and how this changes the breath cycle. If you can, just try to allow yourself to notice your breath without trying to change it or judge it. Whether you're breathing in deep or shallow, it's just an observation. Bring your knees back down gently to the ground. And as you come up, I want you to take your head, look up and gaze up. We're going to do a little bit of a back bending exercise mixed in with our child's pose. As we come back down, we're going to take our knees and we're going to lift them back up. But we're not going to come all the way up. Again, we're just going to inhale and breathe and really feel the security of our hands pressing down into the ground. Gently place the knees back down. We're going to arch the back once again. Allow the back of the head to drop down the back body. Look up and gaze up. Just feel the slight bend in your back. And transition as you dome shape the back. This time we're going to straighten out those legs. We're going to come into a downward facing dog, adjusting ourselves so that our hands are nice and positioned in a comfortable place. You don't have to touch the ground with your heels, but if you like, you can try. You can also walk the heels out. Notice how your left and your right hamstring and leg kind of varies in difference. Maybe one side of your body's a little sore than the other. Or maybe there's nothing at all. You just notice a difference in flexibility. Try not to get into the temptation of dropping down so fast. Allow yourself to just embrace the present moment here in a triangle pose. If you can, bring your chest a little bit closer towards your thighs. That will help you to gain that distance that you're looking for between your heels and the ground. But it'll do it in a natural way. Inhale and breathe in on the next exhale. Lean forward. Come into an upper push-up plank position. If you can, stay like this. If you like to modify, come down to your knees. Inhale and breathe. And bring the upper head forward. Bring the heels back. Squeeze the core. Straighten out the arms. Make sure you're about shoulders length apart. The feet can be about hips width apart. Inhale and breathe, and on the exhale, come down. Bring the chest down to the ground. Bring your hands to the sides of you so that you come up through the upper chest, belly down to the ground, pressing the hips down into the ground as well as you lift up into cobra pose. Inhale and breathe, and exhale, release. Come down. We're going to push back up, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Take a few moments to just pause here. And then come back into a tabletop position. From tabletop, we're going to scooch down to the ground. We're going to inhale and breathe. And on the exhale, we're going to start to guide our bodies down. Slowly, steady, using our breath. Use your breath for strength as you come down, vertebrae by vertebrae, begins to come down to the ground. Slowly bring the hands down by the sides. And just notice the space above you. Breathe in deep. Notice how the breath continues to change as you adjust from a standing position to a mid position of like tabletop to balancing and now down to the ground in a restful position. Bring your hands down by your sides. Allow the arms to hug the sides of your body. Keep your feet bent. Keep your legs bent and your feet on the ground. Slowly start to inhale and allow the hips to rise. And on the exhale, slowly lower back down to the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae. Even if you could do this a million times, I want you to really take your time as you allow the inhalation to help guide up. Feel the hips shoot up like headlights behind you. See if you can hold this for another 5 seconds. This is bridge pose. Notice how the bridge is underneath, and if it was a car driving up, they'd have to drive over. If you want to squeeze a little bit stronger in the thighs and in the belly. Slowly come down vertebrae by vertebrae. And one more time, we're going to lift up on our bridge. Inhale and breathe. And hold on the exhale. Feel the strength inside the core and the thighs once again. Notice how the feet are grounded and help you to maintain this strong position for your body. Notice how the shoulder blades lay down on the ground. And notice how it helps to support you as you come back down through to the lower back body. And as the lower back body lays down restful, just notice it. Take your right knee, you're going to bring it in towards your armpit on the right side. You want to do that so that you have some space to keep breathing and keep feeling the flow of air coming through the chest without any constriction. And breathe. And when you're ready, you're going to take that right foot and you're going to place it on that left thigh. Your right hand is going to come in the middle of your legs and it's going to wrap around the left thigh. The left hand is going to come around and they're going to cuff. So your hands are going to cuff around that left thigh. It's a modified pigeon pose. If you have back problems, this is a really great pose or an alternative to half pigeon. Slowly, you're going to take your hands and unweave them. Bring your fingertips cuffed around your right knee. You're going to place your left leg down, back down on the ground. Allow your right foot to come back down and join your left. Just take a moment to pause. Inhale and breathe. And come back around. Your left leg is going to rise up and come in towards the armpit. Just notice how that helps to alleviate some of the constriction by bringing your leg over towards the left armpit as opposed to straight up the chest. Breathe in deep here. Take your left foot and you're going to place it on top of your right thigh. Inhale and breathe. And on the exhale, you're going to take your hands and weave them in between. Your left hand is going to come inside and grip that thigh on the right side. Your right hand is now going to be on the outside of that right thigh, and they're both going to meet around the right thigh. Again, inhale and breathe. And exhale, release. Pay attention to the full breath cycle. Notice the inhale, the pause. Notice the exhale and the pause. Slowly you're going to unwind your hands. Bring your fingertips back up around to the left thigh. Bring your right foot down, back to the ground, and then bring your left. You're going to take your legs, extend them out in front of you, and stretch the arms up above you. Inhale and breathe. On the next exhale, bring your arms and wrap them around your knees. Maybe you roll left and right. Keep your hands wrapped around your right leg. You're going to take your right hand and just guide the left leg over towards the right side. As you take your left hand and you look over, your left hand is going to be straight, shoulders length apart. Try to look over the fingertips. And breathe. This is a nice spinal twist. Be gentle with the body. The knee and the feet does not have to touch the opposite side. Squeeze the core as you come back into center, bringing that knee up towards the armpit once again, and then you're going to reverse. So the left leg is going to come down to the ground. The right knee is going to come up towards the armpit. The left hand is going to press across and bring that right leg across to the left side. The right arm is going to extend out, and you're going to look over your right fingertips. Again, it's a nice spinal twist. Your knee does not have to touch. Your feet don't even have to touch the ground. If you like, you can use a block, but it's not necessary. Every inhalation, you're going to feel your spine twist a little bit more. And every exhalation, you're going to fall a little bit more into that pose. And just allow the breath to ring the spine. Come back up to center. Inhale and breathe. Bring both your knees back up into the chest one last time. Extend the legs down by the side. Bring the hands either sky flipped up or on the belly so you can prepare for Savasana. If it's too difficult for your back to lay in that straight position, you can bring your knees back up so that they are bent and your feet are on the ground. You want to focus in here on the breath. Relax the feet. Relax the ankles. Notice how the bottoms of the calves touch the ground beneath you. As you continue to bring your awareness up through the leg body, notice how the knee has an inside and an outside, a left and a right, and how it connects to the thigh. And the thigh comes up around the hamstrings. There's an inner thigh and an outer thigh that connects up through to the hips, from the left to the right. Allow the hips to just release and melt down into the mat. The belly is loose. Allow the navel to touch down to the spine. Try not to force the breath here. Just notice how the breath enters the body and the way it impacts the back of the belly, where the lower back and the tailbone meet. And breathe. Relax the back and the shoulders. Relax the arms. Relax the chest. Relax the hands. Relax the throat. Allow the top of the tongue to fall away from the top of the mouth. Relax the neck body. Notice your cheeks and your nose. See if you can relax your full face and your eyes. Relax the ears and the head. Relax the full body as you bring it into awareness. Noticing how the crown of your head connects to the bottoms of your feet. Bring a nice deep inhalation in all the way through down to the tips of the toes. And on the exhale, release. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and notice how your breath, how you can just hear your breath come in through that body. And then exhale. And you can stay here as long as you like. Allowing the video to just continue on and play out. And if you're ready, I'll bring you back into the present moment. Within a few breaths, you can congratulate yourself on a job well done. And just breathe. When you are ready to come out, bring your two knees to your left or your right side. Come out of a cradle position and press up. Come into a seated position. Inhale, allow the arms to rise up and back down. And one last time. And bring your hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you.